It's only doing it again, second time in a week, back on the beach. I'm at Brighton. Well, no, a bit further along than Brighton. Hove, that's where I am. I'm giving it a bash. I had to come down here, pick up some scrap, so I thought, you know what, tides were spot on. Right, they're a bit later than what I wanted them to be. I tides at 1:45 in the morning, but I thought I'll give it a bash. I got some of that ragworm left over from what I had the other day, which is now well over a week old. I haven't actually opened it yet, but luckily enough, Lewis at the shop, Medway Tackle Supplies, had some lug. I literally had a delivery of lug in earlier, and I've rung up and I managed to bag some for today, thank God. So I just grabbed 2 scores. So I've got 2 score of commons and maybe just under half a pound of rag that I haven't looked at yet. I'm a little bit worried too, to be honest. It's been in my fridge up my shed, so I'll have a look in a minute. I bought the Viper out tonight. So the Viper, I've got a 2-hook loop rig on with, yeah, just a loop rig. Size 1s, I think, hooks. I've got lug on that in a minute. And then on the bigger rod on the Daiwa, I've just put out just a 1-hook clip down, like a 1-hook paternoster rig, which I very very rarely use that type of rig. I always use pulleys normally. The reason I'm using it is because Gavin at Gavman Shore Rigs sorted me out a rig pack, and that was in it, and it was new, and I thought, you know what, I'm using it, so that will do. So shout out to Gavman, really. I won't lie. So I fluffed the first cast on the Daiwa, literally blew it up and it snapped. It probably went about 10 yards out, so I'm kind of hoping that I might re-hook that tonight and put it in later, because that's got a brand new rig on it as well. So then I thought, right, stuff that. I set the Viper up and I flicked that out, but I didn't put the wires up on the lead because I wanted to roll it. I wanted it to roll about a bit. I didn't know what the tide run here was going to be like. And I haven't got any small sort of smooth leads, rolling leads, so I just put the wires down, so I thought it'd still give it a bit of movement, and it just went whoa, straight along there. But it had loads of, all the way down the line, loads and loads of weed, which is why I've put the rods right up on the tripod to try and get as much line out of the water as possible. And so far, so good. It doesn't seem to have been dragged down there, so maybe I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and just drag it in anyway, because when I cast it, once I've finished picking off all the weed, there weren't much worm left on it, so I just flicked it back out again. Oh, that was a bite on the bigger rod. That was a bite, guys. Unless it's a swimmer, because there's swimmers in the line. No, that was a bite, 100%. And I'm going to say that is a Dover sole. So that is my target tonight, a Dover sole and a codlin. That's the targets. Oh, actually, it could have been a bream. It could have been a bream. Oh, yeah, my targets tonight is a Dover sole or a codlin. There's been a few codlin caught. Chesil's absolutely smashing it for codlin, which I would go down there, but I'm going to Lanzarote next week, so Chesil can wait. It's still summer anyway. I don't want to carry a cool box all the way along Chesil with loads of cans of Coke in it, because I won't make it. So yeah, it's really just a scratching session, guys. So we will see what happens. Let's have a quick look before you go at this ragworm. That's lug. That feels like rag. What's that? I don't know what that is. Oh, I've got 2 packs of rag. Oh, really? I thought I only had 1. I thought I put it all in one. Oh, hang on. It ain't as bad. It's not as bad as what I thought. I mean, it ain't. No, it's not great. But oh yeah, look, there's a couple of baits in that. That is, most of that is mush. There's definitely a couple of baits on that bit. What's on the other side? The other pack, this feels like there's more in here. I think this is the pack Simon had. There's a bait. There's a couple of baits. That's mush, but it'll still go on. And there's a couple of baits. Oh yeah, there's a bit of rag there. I've caught stingers on worse. Right, lovely. Not as bad as I thought. Right, guys, I will bring this back to a fish. Right, guys, we're walking down the beach. I've got a load of weed on my line, and there's a fish down here somewhere. I didn't bring the rod. I just thought I'd bring the phone. We get the weed off the weed. This isn't the weed that I had on the last cut, Chuck, so I'm happy with that. The weed has changed, and it's bearable weed, if that makes sense. What is the fish? It is a little bass. Well, it's better than a whiting. We will take a bass over a whiting any day of the week. It's nicely hooked. Come here, mate, let me just try and do this one-handed. Please, if you stop, I'll get you back in the sea. Where you gone? Drop. That's it. Well done, mate. Thank you very much. Gently, gently, gently. Well, first fish, first chuck. Well, second chuck, I suppose. Right, the fish are biting. We haven't blanked. It's not a dogfish and it's not a whiting. Therefore, it counts. I said cod, sole, bream. Didn't even think about bass tonight, but it's happened. In a bit. Right, so let me explain. Remember when I said I cast out my first rig and I snapped off? Well, that has just brought in this little baby eel and this little baby bass, and then my other rig on the Viper has just brought in the bigger bass and the whiting. The whiting are here already, but he's a bit worse for wear. He's been on there a while, that poor thing. So I've got to get all 4 of these fish back in the drink. I mean, that is that one's food, but yeah, I can't stay for long, guys, because I've got to get these fish back in the water. Oh, it's a bit mad at the minute. I'm getting taps on the other rod as well. There's plenty of fish out there, plenty of fish. I'm just hoping we find some better ones. Well, that was a mad couple of minutes, people. So that's eel, bass and whiting so far. 3 species, none of which I really wanted. I'll take the bass. I'll even take the eel. I used to fish for eels when I was younger, down on the River Medway. I used to really enjoy it as well with a bit of crab. It was obviously before I could drive. It was just something different than catching whiting and pouting and maybe codling, because that was all we really used to catch in the river. Yeah, I think there'll be a few more fish to come as the tide comes up. We've still got a few hours yet, so it's looking promising. Just hope that one of them fish that I want comes. I'd really love to see a sole. I'll be up with a place as well, but it's dark and rough and it's not really place weather. But I'd love to see a sole, and I'd love to see a cod even more, even if it's miniature, just to get me off the mark this year for the codling. Another one. It just fell off my rig. Oh, you little kid. Loads and loads of these little schoolies about. They're coming a pain? A little bit. A little bit. And not what I'm after. But again, can't complain. It's not whiting or dogfish. To be fair, I'm being lazy and I'm casting from the top of the beach. So I might start walking down the beach and just try and stick it out that little bit further. You never know. It might land. To be fair, when I got here about half hour, 40 minutes after low, I would have thought I could see the waves breaking probably about 30 or 40 yards out, 50 yards out maybe. So that was obviously breaking over some sort of bank, whether it be sand or shingle or whatever. So that could be where the sole is sitting, which again is what I want. So I will load that rig back up. I've changed rigs now. I don't know if I told you on the last bit. I've gone back over to the loop rig. So I've got a loop rig on both now. One has got some green and black beads on it. Not that it matters because it's dark, but I suppose I'll give it a bit of movement. And I'm putting lugworm on one and rag on the other. For a little bass. That's just giving me a bloody good bite on this big dial rod. Let's get some lug out of the packet. Don't need big ones. It's nice to have a mixture, some decent, really good ones, and then some smaller ones. So I'll start off with the big ones, and if there's a little bit left, top it up with a smaller one. Win-win, really. They're getting bigger, guys. Look at that, look. Chinook on that tiny, tiny little look. I was actually on the phone to my old pal Sam, and nicely, be nice. Yeah, and I had a bloody good slack liner, a really good slack liner, and I just thought, oh, do you know what? Oh, I will get hold of him. And I thought, oh, I'll just finish this message, sending it to Sam, and yeah, then it pulled back down, then went slack again, then it pulled back down, and then by then I had to get up, and I thought, well, I've got to sort this out. Oh, come here, dude. Gotcha. Gotcha. That is probably just about a sizable fish, but he can go back. He can go back. As you know, I don't really eat fish. And these ones this size, just on the limit, are the best ones. And the meat is a lot sweeter. And it hasn't quite reached breeding yet. Anything bigger that is a breeding fish, it's always better to put them back, and then we'll get more. Go on, dude, away you go. Listen, again though, that's not me being a tree hugger. I would never begrudge. That's a bit of plastic, but what sort of plastic? That's a bag. I don't mind taking that. I thought it was a jam rag, and I thought, oh, I'm not touching that. I'm sorry, but no, I'll draw a line somewhere. What was I saying? Yeah, I wouldn't begrudge anyone taking a fish home as long as it's sizable and as long as it's legal and you've kept to your limits and all that tosh. But it's just always better to take them ones, just because they haven't reached that breeding yet, and a lot of people are going to go, oh well, give it a chance to reach breeding at least. But then once it's breeding, it can breed every year, can't it? So it's like a pile of rubbish. Look, line and plastic. What am I doing? Oh, I've got to bait this rig that I've just sat on. I've probably got to look up my arse. Great. No, I didn't. That was a touch. Lugworm strikes again now. And I had a little moan about bass earlier, but I don't mind them when they go like that, because that put up a bit of a fight. I mean, it was no £20 carp on a carp rod. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But it put up a bit of a scrap. I knew it was there, put it that way. And another one. Oh shit, you guys not. Sorry, swearing. Literally rebaited this rig. You can see how fresh that bait is. It's not even been on the water 2 minutes. I flicked it out. I say flicked it out. I'll give it everything I had. Putting it out. Right, this is the second time now I've cast further. Second time I've caught too big a fish. So I need to I'll sort this out in a minute. So literally, I cast it out, ran back up the beach, dropped the rod on the tripod, picked up my other rod, started reeling it halfway in. My bigger rod was going absolutely psycho. So I had to put my little rod down and pick up the thing, and there we go. Another bass that's probably not quite sized. I don't know. It might just make it. It might just make it. Yeah, I reckon that probably would. But again, it's going back. Anyway, I'll get it on hook, get it back, get another one in a bit. Species number 4, 5, I can't remember. Another little baby smooth hound. I hope these don't start again, because these are not what I want to see. I've caught every species I didn't even mention. Unbelievable. Right, now I've got both rods out of the water, so I need to get them both baited up and both back in. So I will bring you back. Manic session. Well, guys, I had another little bass on the Viper. I didn't get to record. I had somebody show up to say hello. Turns out it was a subscriber. So nice to meet you, buddy. I didn't catch your name, but it didn't sound like you had a good night. So when I first got here, the weed was a nightmare. All the way up the line, little tiny bits, it all clogged up the line. And then that last cast was the same again on the smaller rod. So I'm hoping it's not like it, and then it sort of, it didn't disappear. There'd been a bit of weed all the way through the night, to be fair, but not like that. It was all the way up the line. But that last chuck was, yeah, it was a pain, especially with them tiny little eyes. It won't come through. And I've only got £10 main line on that with a tapered leader, so yeah, it's not ideal trying to pull it through the eye. But I'm still hopeful that there may be some other species other than bass, and smooth hounds, and all the other stuff. Another slimy one on the lug. I just had a little pattern as well, so that's another species tonight, but not the two I bloody want. Get off. It's very important, guys, that you keep that tail from that eel away from your snood, otherwise it will ruin it. Keep that snood away from the rest of your rig. Let's see the way I'm holding it out. Keep it and just jiggle it about a bit, especially if you're being a tit and trying to film it for loads and loads of other people, or just get it off the hook as soon as you possibly can, which is what I'm going to do now. So I will bring you back. Well, guys, it's gone a bit, I say quiet. I am still getting the odd fish. Mate, it's about 11:30 now. I've just looked and the M25 is shut. Oh, happy days. So I've got a nice long way round to get home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start packing up rubbish in the bag. not just mine, but whatever else I find. To be fair, it is mostly mine. There is a bit of bait left over, but it ain't worth taking home. Oh, I've just got rag dust in my bloody trainer. Listen, I'll mention it every now and again, but it shouldn't really need to be mentioned at all, guys. Just make sure you take your rubbish home. Don't leave nothing on the beach. One, it's just not a nice thing to do, and two, it doesn't take a lot, especially now with the power of Facebook and all the Karens out there, for someone to come past and take a picture of a bit of rubbish on the beach and then someone blames anglers, and it just doesn't take a lot for us to get the blame. And we just don't need it. And again, it's just not the right thing to do. You should always leave it better than you found it. So yeah, anyway, other than that, thank you all for watching again. When will the next video be? I have no idea. So I'm away. When will I post this video? What's the date? Tuesday. So this video will probably go out maybe Sunday. So yeah, literally I'll just be getting ready to go on an aeroplane in the next few hours when you see this video. So I'll be away for a week. Yeah, it might be another week and a half after this, but I am going to try and slowly get back into it and try and at least get you guys a video a week. I will start doing some more kite ones, I think. I know there's a lot of people that don't like them and I don't really get any views, but that was one other reason really why I felt a bit disheartened with it, because when I first started YouTube, there was nowhere near as many people doing YouTube as what there is now. And I was never really bothered about it, because I never really looked at it as like competition. I still don't look at it as competition. There's a lot better channels out there than mine, and I know that their editing's a lot better. I know it's down to personal preference, whether you like that person, whether their editing's amazing or not. But I just really never looked at it as competition, for views. I mean, not like, oh, I'm a better angler than this person, because that's, again, it's just nonsense. And I never look at myself as a better angler than anyone else. But the way I see it now is, although there's a hell of a lot of coastline in our country, it's coastline all the way around it, it just seems to be that when you look at sea fishing videos on YouTube, everybody is doing the same thing. Obviously, we have the different seasons of fish. So we have our summer species and we have our winter species and spring species and autumn species, whatever. But when the cod are in, everyone's cod fishing. When the smooth hounds are in, everyone's smooth hound fishing. And when the rays are in, everyone's ray fishing, and so on and so forth. You get what I mean. And once, I don't know, for instance, one of you guys have watched 3 people catching smooth hounds on the beach. Why do you need to watch my video, for instance? And it's not, I know a lot of you guys that are watching now will watch my videos regardless, and I get that, but that's not everybody. Like I said, I've got nearly 19,000 subscribers on here, and our last year or so I've been lucky to get 5,000 or 10,000 views. So like I say, on a video, I mean, so I just literally think it's down to that. Like I say, once the fish turn up at Chisel, everybody runs to Chisel and does a video, and it's just, like I say, I never used to look at it as competition. Not like, say you and 2 of your neighbours were baking cakes and selling them at your front door, where that's like a mega competition. If you've only got 10 people wanting to buy cakes, then split between the 3 of you. It's obviously better if just one of you are doing it. But I never looked at it as if for me, as if it was only good that I was only one doing YouTube videos, just beach fishing, you know, because I didn't think it'd matter. But I think these last couple of years, I think it has made a difference. I say there's a lot more people now making the same videos I'm making, and I'm making the same videos they're making, because there isn't any other different types of video to make. You know, once you've all seen somebody make a pulley rig on YouTube, then I don't see the point of making a video of making a pulley rig. Do you get what I mean? I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I just thought to myself, oh, what's the point in going smoothhound fishing tonight? Because John, Steve and Bill have all done one, you know. That was my kind of view anyway. Again, I know it's down to people. Like I say, I've been reading comments tonight, and I've actually been talking to a couple of you tonight while I've been fishing, like replying to some comments and stuff. I had a bit of free time to do it, and the general consensus is people are watching it for me, which is great, and I really I love it. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I really do appreciate it. But there obviously are some people out there that don't like me, which is totally understandable. There's a hell of a lot of people I don't like, again, which is understandable. It's all down to personal preference, I suppose. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to hit 20,000 subscribers. It'd be amazing. It's just taking a bloody long time to get it. I remember when I hit 10 and I hit 15 almost very quickly. And in my head I was like, oh, it should start. The more subscribers you get, the better it goes. Like the kids watch Mr. Beast, and I even think some of his videos are brilliant. And I watched a video on Mr. Beast about him and saying he hit 100,000 subscribers, and then within 2 months he'd hit 1 million, and I just think it's crazy. How does he do that? And then I watched the day when he hit 100 million. He was live on YouTube, and I was actually fishing. I think I was down this way, and he was getting like 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers in 10 seconds. It was crazy. Well, he'd done a 30-minute live video, and in that 30 minutes, he had accumulated 2 million subscribers in half an hour. It's just insane. And now he's well over 200 million, and probably even more than that now. It's just, yeah, it's incredible. Anyway, he's a different kind of beast, isn't he? So, right, thanks all for watching, guys. I think I'm going to call it there. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Doesn't cost anything. Really means a lot. I will try and get out a bit more. Again, the biggest problem I've got is the whiting are going to be here soon, and I'm not feeling whiting. But we'll do some pike videos. We'll do some carp videos. If there's any, I'll probably try and get down to Chesil as well. Try and do some cod videos, because I want to do it myself. And I want to go up to Hull this year as well and do some cod fishing on the Humber. Only because Norton Disney's quite near, and I'd like to go and do some carp fishing at Norton Disney. So I'm going to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because it's a long way. I may get to the Bristol Channel at some point, but we'll see. We'll see how the year turns out. Anyway, thanks again, people. Much love. In a bit.